Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and it's album review time. So taking a look at the debut album from the Kent, UK metal band Graphic Nature, an album that explores the subject of mental health in quite detail. The debut album is called A Mind Waiting to Die, out February 17th, 2023 via Rude Records. This is a highly anticipated release. A lot of people have been looking forward to this debut release. The new metal hardcore crossover heavy band is Graphic Nature. This album finds the band spitting and snarling with a level of truth and honesty that is quite daring and very exciting. The blend of modern mayhem and old school new vibes makes for an intense experience. And one run through the entire album makes it clear just why this music is resonating with so many people. There's no shortage of heavy bands willing to open up about their experiences with mental health, and while each delivers their own individual experience, of course, few sound as raw as Graphic Nature and how they deliver on this album. An open book of pain and challenges that come with mental health issues. It is this level of honesty, unwavering honesty, that deepens the connection, I think. Yet it is not exclusively an album for those who can perhaps relate to what Graphic Nature have experienced. Even if your journey is completely different, the conversation is being had here, and that's something most can enjoy and certainly relate to. Expressed in a way that can thrill, intrigue, and polarize, Graphic Nature's combination of musical styles is certainly memorable. The wild and mayhem-inducing heavy antics are combined with nu metal groove and abrasive electronica to create a monstrosity of demonic sounds. The constant mania, brutal breakdowns, and raw, hardcore-infused power is what makes A Mind Waiting to Die such a standout debut release. Where the polarizing aspects come into play is with some of the nu metal twists and electronica-led turns. Elements that are carefully and cleverly laid into the overall intensity of Graphic Nature's metal sound, but can be coarse to the ear when showcased. This is an aspect, I think, that really comes down to an individual. Whereas Graphic Nature's overall carnage, creating speed and heaviness, is something that every metal fan can enjoy. I'm on the fence about the sort of elements I've talked about there. I don't mind new metal infusions. I don't mind a blend of electronica. There are times in this album where it didn't quite hit with me, but I also recognise that's maybe more just my taste and that a lot of people are going to absolutely love it. But overall, A Mind Waiting to Die lives up to the hype. But more than that, it's an honest evaluation of personal mental health experiences and the ever-growing conversation surrounding the stupidity of the subject once being taboo. Graphic Nature are willing to talk and listen if you feel ready for it, but it's still an experience you can relate to and resonate deeply within you, particularly, if you've got a deeper connection perhaps with the band already, and perhaps if it's experiences that you perhaps have lived too. I think that's super important, and certainly means that a select crowd may take more out of this than perhaps the general crowd. But I do think the general crowd will at least cotton on to the energy and the raw noise that Graphic Nature are creating on this album. Does all of it work? That really is going to be down to you, I think, more than anything else. Either way, I think most people will be impressed by how intense a debut record this is. I did end up finding myself quite enjoying it overall. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best thing I've heard this year, but as a debut release goes, it's certainly got my attention. I listened to it a couple of times in a row, really to try and let it sink in and see how much I could relate to it as well. I think that's so important, the relatability of this album, this band overall. It's kind of why there's such a buzz around them. In Mind Waiting to Die, it's out on February 17th via Rude Records. Check it out, you know what to do. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhblofficial.com as well as via our social media,
Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?